Um, so when I was about 12, my sister was 15. She was 3 years older than me. She was in year 10 and I was in year 7. She used to go out with this guy called Adrian, and they were both in the same grade from different schools. And he'd been through so much shit in his life. Like, his dad had recently just died of cancer, like sitting in the lounge room, like the whole family was around waiting for him to die because he was kind of like in his last moments. And his sister had just committed suicide like the year before. She wasn't that much older than him. And I think my sister had, I mean, I never really knew the details that well because I was so young and that was her life, but like, she'd just broken up with him. I knew that like a few weeks before, and he basically came over one night when we were at home, came over in a cab and he dropped her off an envelope with a letter in it, really long letter. And I remember her reading it and then by the end of it just being in tears and just yelling at Mum, telling Mum that we have to get in the car and we have to go over to Adrian's house now because he was going to kill himself. And so like, I just came along for the ride and we all went over there. And at first it was just me and Mum like sitting in the car waiting, and Sissy had like ran up the stairs and you could just hear them like yelling at each other and like shit being thrown, and there was this really loud like song playing, and like I think my mum...
Do you remember the song?
Yeah, always. It was Tracy Chapman, The Promise. He had like the music video playing on his TV. It must have been like just her collections, like best of DVD. And when me and Mum ran up the stairs to like see if everything was alright, it was that song just like on repeat playing. And my sister was like, man, I'd never seen my sister like that before. She was just crazy crying, and he was just, by that stage he'd taken everything. He'd taken like everything in the house and he'd mixed it with like this pasta sauce, bolognese or whatever. And we'd call the ambulance at that stage and the police were called. And she just kept telling Mum to like go away because Mum was way too panicked and way too like stressed out to be there in that situation with us, because yeah, she was just making it worse. But I stayed. I didn't really say anything. I was just watching them fight. And he ran out the back. And I remember him like just like kind of vomiting and everything on the stairs. And like, I don't remember how I got to the bottom of the stairs, but I was looking up at him from the bottom of the staircase. And he just shot me this look, man, and it was so weird because it was kind of like he was happy, like but like it was a big joke to him, like him killing himself, because he was so ready for death. And he just falls down the stairs, and then like by that stage the police and the ambulance were there, and they were all trying to pump his stomach and everything because he still had some stuff in there. But yeah, that time he didn't actually die. Like a few weeks later we drove him up to Mackay, where he was actually from, because we were in Rockhampton. And his parents stupidly left him alone in their house while they went out. And like, yeah, he just tried it again. This was the second time and he died. Yeah, and that always stayed with me, because I remember that being like the hardest time of my life. I mean, my sister's life, because she kept playing that song like for like months afterwards. Like, she wouldn't come out of her room. She was just playing this song over and over again. It's the saddest song. She got so much shit after that. Like, people from the school that he went to were like throw shit at her and yell at her in the street, like blaming her for his death and everything. But I think he was just so ready to die. Like, it wouldn't have mattered if my sister stayed with him or not, and she was 15, like, she didn't really know what to do.